Good morning. I'm going to start talking right away so you don't have any time to waste. And don't you think I don't want to talk about it? So if you want to really say something really important that I would have to say something about. So wait a minute, what you think about it? I would think that's really important. I don't what when have some people it's all about it. I was thinking. But as I or yes, yeah, what's about then I asked, that was talking, and it could be, and it is not. So you don't know, and I don't. Welcome back to some of the people who actually do watch this content. So why don't you? Why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't you? Why should you? Why should you? Why should you not? It is not a question of shouldn't, wouldn't, or couldn't, but mystery magic theater. So mm, I think that copyright is already taken. So let's relax. In my last video, I was giving some rendition about semiotics. What is a sign? What is semiosis? What is signifying? What is it? You can watch it. You find a complete list of all videos I made this year on, if you go on YouTube, Denko Drom, it's the channel name. And on the first video, which is a channel teaser, I put just all the links because I cannot create playlists. It doesn't work. It's all shows, it says always video hidden, video hidden, video hidden, video hidden, video hidden. So nice, that all hidden. But if I just put link, it's not hidden. So yeah, it is not hidden. So you can see it. So yeah, and so maybe you're gonna see this sometime now on Monday, 17 March, 9:19, where I'm streaming this, or you are watching it another time, which is most probable because I actually see if anyone would be watching it and it's not. So I'm live for myself. Ah, don't I'm lonely? Don't I think I'm a bad YouTuber that nobody really cares for? Like I only have like 7 views on one video, and I don't know. This is really ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah, sure. Like this is the main point of finding conversation with the world. It is really important. There is always many people who don't understand anything. That's really most important. And this is why irony doesn't work on television. Most important is that you find one person that understands what you're talking about. So that could be anyone. That is the point of doing streaming and doing public art and doing public speaking in a way also, or even taking an argument anywhere. Like, is it about finding many people who don't give a shit about you, but they say, yeah, you talk nice. Yeah, you talk nice. And I've been Mrs. Smiley Pants since I can remember, so I've been told a lot that I can talk nice. So maybe I will talk about my privileges today. That could be a nice thing to do, um, because I don't know. That's also a concept which I should talk about sometimes. And I really feel I made some short remarks always about eugenics, and I feel that people really need to get into the concept of eugenics. I dropped it in one video where I really, really shortly got my intersectionality workbook, which is the only book, not the only book, because there are shorter books, but if you consider yourself some kind of left wing intersectional person and you are, like always, not understanding feminism, but thinking it's about cis women, and you get a book. And then you get this book. It's Intersectionality as Critical Social Theory by Patricia Hill Collins. And we start about, she has very nice chapters. And I will now try to find, because I didn't prepare for this, to find a place where she writes about eugenics. But she is writing about a lot. So now she's writing about resistance, ways of knowing, critical edging, inquiry. So that's not the way it's going to work, that I will just pop up the book. But she writes in the book that if you look at intersectionality, intersectionality is a concept which is just a basic social science concept. People think it's something interesting or new or remarkable, or it has something to do with identity politics, or it has something to do with black liberation, or it has something to do with whatever, feminism, or in these like broad, non-specific meanings. It does in world of discourse, which I'm not going to insult people anymore, but I'm a very strict parent, so I will tell you again, everyone who is listening. That's it. That's what I wanted to say to all the children out there. And you can be growing very old. I found out, I didn't know. I also grew very old till I would not be irresponsible, totally mad, stupid, ignorant, and aggressive, like arbitrary, which is the word for just doing random stuff. And this is what most of the children around me, like they can be 30, 35, even 40. Maybe people even get older, 60, still children. Because also, like everything, like every word, it's a concept. It's a concept. It's a concept. It's a concept. And the concept creates system, and the system is included in ideology and in governance and in state and in the world. And so nothing is free of any meaning. So if you ever wanted to be whatever, critical, maybe some people want to do that. Some people say, oh, the world maybe not good. Maybe. But let's change the world. There you go. Yeah, let's go. Let's change the world. Yeah. It's a really great idea, especially if you don't know anything about the world. That's really a good idea. So if you like, it's like the usual way people do it. And that's why irony works so well on television. It's the usual way you do it. You go somewhere in the dark, in a house, for example, but it's dark. You don't see anything. And you go with a hammer, and then you go through the dark place. You don't know who's living where, maybe children, animals, people, but it's dark. And you have headphones on, listening to Rage Against the Machine, and you have a sledgehammer, and then you go around and smash all somewhere in the dark. You kill some people, unalive them, because YouTube will block it anyways or something. I don't care. There's no algorithm for me. Just people who love it and share this by themselves. So if you want somebody to watch my videos, you cannot rely on YouTube. You can download them and send them via Telegram to anyone. I don't care. I don't care about view count, and I don't care about anything like this. I will care about giving voice to thinking, because me, smarty person, and it's not ooh, the problem with smarty person in this world is not that there are no smart people, that there are no intellectual people, intelligent people, people who understand philosophy, ontology, and stuff. No, and blah blah blah, and all the words. And if I say ontology seems good, or doesn't it? Whatever. The problem is that knowledge, and there we go to the contested French guy, Jean-Michel Jarre. No, that's a musician. So we go to the non-contested French guy, Michel Basquiat. Is it even a French guy? Isn't it a painter? Isn't Jean-Michel Jarre and Michel Basquiat? Is it even Michel Basquiat? Is it a different person? Why is Xenia taking this road? Hmm. Does it make a difference? Because I was talking about people going around with a sledgehammer changing the world. And I think they are not doing good. No, no, not at all. Not at all. I was involved in political work in the left wing scene in Germany for about 20 years. And when I entered the left wing scene, I was reading stuff by people who left the left wing scene for reasons. Many people, like everyone who had any way of being serious, left it. They were no, 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 can't go, no activism. Left scene is really bad, identitarian, like all codes of clothes, and people have to behave, and it's weird, and it doesn't make sense, and they do nothing, they just talk, and if they do something, it's like a child's game which has nothing to do with the violent reality we're living in. So I thought, yeah, possibly, hmm, probably true. But as I will always say, left, what's your direction here? Is it mirror or is it right way around? I don't know. It's left from me. Left, good way. Right, bad way. Nothing to do with left hand, right hand. Maybe you want take cultural and social reasons, or take the history why the people on the right in the parliament after the French Revolution were reactionaries and the left were wild-hearted white guilt fraction of revolution, or the fathers of the bourgeoisie. I don't know. Um, I know, but I don't care now because it's all not about that. It's not about many things I already said. It's about intersectionality or eugenics, or is it about smart or knowledge power, or what is it about? Does it really matter? Does it matter? Would it make a difference if I would talk in consecutive lines, make a very clear statement, and put it in very much great order? Does it make a difference when I talk faster? Doesn't make a difference when I talk slower? Doesn't make a difference when I talk deeper? Doesn't make a difference when I talk high? Doesn't make a difference when I look like it. Does it all make a difference? Yeah, it does, and that's the reason why I don't have a lot of interesting students, because the most of my students are really not good. They're not listening. So me as a teacher and a parent of many people, I feel very sad. Not sad, really sad, because like it's that's a job you do, and a job is like I like the old way of the word there. It's a test of God testing your faith. So yeah, it's a job. It's testing my faith in humanity. But I have a lot of it, so I will go on lecturing. Mm. And like I said, I hoped in the years to find good students, like because I've been, like I said, organized in the militant left, German left wing scene for 20 years. So I thought, if I teach, and now I teach philosophy and general laws of social science, and I have some side projects which I will also keep on talking about. But this is the main line: it's social science and philosophy. And this is what the channel, if it is a channel, it will be about that mostly. Media analysis, but it's also a part of social science. So yeah, I was saying, I hope to find some good students in the left wing scene, because I figured, as being very smart, and now I will maybe end the sentence about Foucault and knowledge power. Being a smart person in this world is not bad. It's very serving. It's for people. Me as being hyper intelligent person, like you cannot, like come, like anyone, come debate me. Really, I mean it. Leave, and I mean like anyone, because I read all the stuff, and there are authors in this world who have specific topics. Like I don't know, maybe you like David Graeber. He's a great writer. Or you like Vinia Damchak in Germany. She's a really brilliant writer. Or you like me, Patricia Hill Collins. Or you like, what could you like? There are many good books that I have. Let's take some out. Let's take some good books I like out. So we will see. So you understand what I maybe all could like, what you could also like if you want to. Yeah, this and this, and yeah, and this, and and this, and this, and mm, uh, yeah, maybe also this. Let's look out. So I got some books for you. So now we're going to do book tour. So you get some basic information what that you could get. Here, like this, maybe like this. Silvia Federici, very good author. I will end the sentence about the problem of smart person, but now I will just present some books. This is Silvia Federici. She is a brilliant writer. She is a feminist, Marxist, materialist, anti-colonialist, global orientated liberation theorist. And she's very smart and she's very honorable and she did a great work. Do I respect her as a philosopher? No, I don't. This is Audre Lorde. Your silence will not protect you. Is it a good book? I don't know. I did not read this book. Did I read something by Audre Lorde? Yes, I did. I read, especially what I loved about Audre Lorde is what she says about poetry and eroticism. And do I think Audre Lorde should debate me on philosophy? Yes, I think she should. She good philosopher. So she will go here. So here we got a book. It's I'm very into you. It's a correspondences between the punky artist Kathy Ecker and Mackenzie Walk, the incredible trans icon and theorist. Will I? Kathy Ecker cannot debate her. Mackenzie Walk, will I debate her? Is she a good philosopher? No, she's not. So I won't debate her. Maybe she could, but it won't make sense. Jean Baudrillard, a very nice book here called The Symbolic Exchange and Death. This is a life's book. I like it, even the cover, it's very black. Did I read this book? Yes, I read this book when I was 27 or something like that. Yeah, and I really read it thoroughly, yeah, because I was really interested in this guy, because um, how to put it, he does science fiction philosophy, and so he is daring, and in his analysis of science, he's a semiotic person, so that's why I read it very thoroughly, because it's kind of my specific field in sociology, in social science, and philosophy. It's semiotics. That's where I'm focusing. So I really love this book. Should he debate me on anything? No, no. Where's this no thing? Here, no, not even. I will not even put him on the thing where Mackenzie Walker, Kathy Ecker, and Silvia Federici, because he's not even a left-wing person. He is a reactionary conservative, making up great words to impress people and stealing lots of concepts and not understanding really. But what he does understand is thinking itself. So is he a bad thinker? Not really. He's okay. Is he a good philosopher? Not at all. So bye. Will I, back to my book, will I debate Patricia Hill Collins on philosophy? I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not sure. I think this person, after reading this book, I think she's so smart. She's so smart. Like, she would not publicly debate. because she's so smart that she knows what media is. And so she's not even going in any of these mountains, but she's taking a special place as a revolutionary here. So I don't have to debate her because she knows. And she knows what not to say. And that's the magic of her book. Because it's actually a book which is written in an idea of a way of telling a story. Ha. So what I would propose is the best philosophers nowadays are liars. Not marketing gurus. No, 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 no. They are liars. So we go on. Here we got a very old edition of Albert Camus, Human in Revolt. I don't know if it's the English title, The Human in the Revolt. Maybe if you do the German way, Der Mensch in der Revolte. I love this book. I will not feature a book of Binia Damchak right now because the one is over there, the one is over there, but I will keep her in mind and I will talk about her. Maybe I will talk about her another time and I can do it on this tier list of revolutionary. I want to debate you and lovely people I don't want to debate and weird people that are already dead and are not even fighting for a better world. So I don't care. This book, there is this like I will talk a little about Binia Damchak here because she wrote there is, I think it is in her German book. I don't know if it will ever be translated in English, but Binia Damchak is a German West post-Stalinist communist, queer communist theorist and artist from Germany. She's living in Berlin and she did the most she did like the work, like she did the work, like without her, oh, I have to cry now because it's really meaningful to me. Because I really care about what I do, you know, it really means something, so I cry because I think it's moving. It's really moving what she did because she took the discipline and wrote about the problems of revolution. She wrote a more theoretical book, which is Beziehungsweise Revolution, relationship-wise revolution, which tells the story of 3 revolutionary phases from the 1910s to the 1960s to what's to come, which is very insightful. But what is most important, and I think I will not get the title, is it called Der schönste Tag im Leben des Alexander Bergman or something? I'm not sure. I read all of the books I could get. I read all of the articles I could get, and I want to debate her on some of them. I don't need to, but some seemed, how's it called in German? Wertkritisch, like it's a sub line of Marxist thought, which is formalist, but not in the Adorno way, but in the stupid Leninist way. It's really bad. It's really not worth going anywhere. No, it's not. So whatever. But in her books, it's not about Wertkritik. So critique of how's it called, the Marxist term? I don't know. It's the worth of a dollar, value critique. I suppose. But she writes about how revolution kind of just how it eats itself and how it doesn't work for many reasons. And the main thing, I just as a standard funny phrase I took from it is that we need a revolution that we win, and we need to believe in it. So yeah, that's what her point was, is, and will be. And so let's see. Back to Albert Camus. This book is giving a very good rendition, especially I love the part where he talks about anarchism in the 19th century, 1870 stuff, and around that time until later, of anarchy and death, people killing just for no hope and having fun with it. So that's also a topic we can talk about, killing people for fun and making it a political mission. That it could be very interesting. And he writes a lot about violence, which is gives them kind of a link to Walter Benjamin's ideas about violence, and that there is some kind of holy, like sacred violence, which has a reason, and there is stupid and dangerous and violence, which follows a plan. Hmm? Two ways of doing violence, and it's very much embedded in the normal law system because if you do something with a plan and kill someone, it's murder. If you react to someone attacking you, it's not. Hmm. But you don't have to put it in these bourgeois terms. You can just use your head and create a world in which you understand that planning any kind of violence is a logical contradiction because violence is a non-signifiable process. And that's actually what Jean Baudrillard is talking about when he talks about death. So, back to Camus. Lovely book, very sad, but he is very right. And he is also trying to tell the left-wing people to take a deep breath and stop their bullshit. Because he's been there. He knows. Will I debate the dead guy? Yeah, I would. Would he be as much smart as Patricia Hill Collins not to publicly debate me for reasons? He's dead. So in his time, he would have. So he gets a own place. Is Audre Lorde dead too? So I think they go together. So we go on. Yeah. One of the books I read when I was studying in university, it's called Rational Choice Theory Resisting Colonization. Hmm. Will I say a lot about this book? No. Is it a more techno uh, a book for people who study sociology? Yes, it is. It's not really a book for anyone. But I take this book and I will call up a second book which is at my mother's place, but because I gave it to her, which is called Critical System Theory. So I was studying sociology at university in the city of Essen, which is a nice place. It's a mass university where no one recognizes anyone, but if you are in love with the teacher, maybe. So I wasn't. No, I wasn't in love with the teacher. I liked her boots, but I always liked boots and leather. Oh, um, mm, mm. So back to this book. Uh, what did the smart person do? Because I always do more than anyone. I know. So I in this realm, which I love most, intellectualism. So did I read all the stuff they gave me in university? Yeah. If I didn't consider it to be substandard for what I feel, yeah, I read it. And then I read books. I ordered them from far away for spend money, yeah, to get books which will rip it all apart, what they tell me. And this is one of these books. This is a book against rational choice theory, and it makes very good argument. But I will, because I don't remember that one so well. I remember I liked it, but rational choice theory is so far away from me. If I would ever do introduction of critique, I could do a introduction of why rational choice is also self-contradictory. Like even the word rational and choice don't fit in one sentence. But I will not do it right now. I will still call to the book, which is not here. But before I throw this book away, do I debate any of these people? No, no, no. They don't. They're not here for debate. This is pure commentary on academia. So if anyone pays me a lot of money for it, academia, yeah, then I can do academia and talk academia. But I don't get money, so am I paid here? No. So do I debate academia or do I debate academically? No, no. They would have to give me a lot of money to do that. And if they want to, if anyone wants to debate me and wants me to talk very academically and only quote people and rely on history and make valid arguments, I can do that. And I cannot be funny. I can be very serious and do a teaching role and tell everyone what I know in a very serious voice. But then you have to pay me for that. Because if you don't, I will do what I do, have fun, fight for the revolution, and do what I do. So, no debate here. Mm. But to get back to the smarty pants problem, I will again talk about this other book, which is Critical System Theory. Because that is a book which I guess nobody read or nobody understood. And the people who wrote it, they really gave their all. Because they kind of did something that another one of my favorite guys, Ludwig Wittgenstein, did to speech, to words, to the logic, axiomatic logic of wording, creating language and meaning. We will come to this guy. Back to the book, which I don't know the authors of, but it's called Critical System Theory. And they try to take all that is known about system theory, and even the German one by Niklas Luhmann, which people don't understand. They just don't. And that was his intention of how he wrote the theory. Because he wrote it as a theory of control. So why should anyone understand it? It's a theory of control. So best part about it is that nobody understands it. But these people that wrote this book, which I don't have here, they understood it. And so they proved in their book that, and this won't make any sense to anyone who is not into system theory, but they proved, like kind of taking what Gödel is doing for mathematics, they proved that by applying logic of system to logic of system, you will not create a system, a good system. There's no way of creating a system systematically. So that's a really good point. And that really takes away the control which is embedded in especially Niklas Luhmann's version of system theory, but also the US American counterparts, which are not as good because Luhmann is the master of control. But yes, so the book is out there, so nobody would have to argue about system theory if they would take one of two options. Either I don't know, or I have to study with a good teacher. Now we go to a German author called Daniel Kuller. This is a book by Daniel Kuller called Leben im Rausch, Evolution, Geschichte, Aufstand. Daniel Kuller is one of the only German-based socialists, communists, revolutionaries, preachers, wandering philosophers, anti-fascist, activist, fighter, whatever you want to call him. Lovely guy, nice shirt, good hair, I don't know, whatever you want. But this book is really good. Why is it really good? It's about drugs. It's a good topic. And it is about military and drugs in a way. And it is about, which is really the part I like most about the book, it's about making analogies between brain and technical devices to make people understand how certain states of consciousness work. Because people are just too selfish and narcissistic and living in idiocracy. So they don't understand that they have a many component chimeric system, organism, which operates also with digital filters and data compression and all the stuff you know from computer. It's also happening in the brain. So, Mr. Kuller or will I call him just Daniel? Daniel made this book, and you can find a lot of interesting parts about how different states of mind occur, and also how being in a state of rush, ecstasy, is connected to revolution. So that's really important. Will I debate Daniel on stage on philosophy? Is it what he wants? No. So I will put him to Patricia Hill Collins because he will talk strategically. So we go on with our wonderful book tour. So yeah, the problem with knowledge power in this world is that smarty people like me get sold out to the system right away. Like even in an early age, some people just get away by just not being smart anymore, which is a way lots of people choose for good reasons, because you just shut up because you know it's going to be abused, so you don't talk. You just do, maybe just do sports, or you stay at home, become a painter, do some conspiracy theory stuff because you feel like everything is connected, but you don't want to think about it too much. And I understand, because it's dangerous and it doesn't make any fun in a very obvious sense. If you are alone and you get more and more information how much the cards of the world, the decks are stacked against you. Like all the cards, like every card you get, every sign you read, everything is stacked to make your humanity and your soul die. That's why this world is built. This capitalist, patriarchal, colonial hellhole is built to eat your soul. Yeah. So everything you see is built to eat your soul, because there's no change in it, because the compromise that the historic left had to do with capitalism leads to one immediate loss, and that's the loss of sense. And sense is the way the soul, if you don't believe in soul is what you should call the emerging um, psychostructure, which is a result of the multifaceted interactions in the neural network people call brain, and what people call soul is where consciousness lives. In soul, there's consciousness. And who already thinks spiritual stuff? Yeah, I'm very sorry. You need words and concepts for material reality. So, and if a lot of material reality is actually happening in symbolic order in brain, you need words for that. If you don't like angel, God, if you don't like anything of these words, they are formal concepts. Everything of these words, like that sound mythical, cosmological, spiritual, even religious. They are formal concepts, some of control, some of creating specific paths for people, some of, yeah, navigating certain things you don't understand and cannot understand. So yeah, they all have function and meaning. So there's nothing that makes no sense in this world. Like I hate the most kind of guy Paul Watzlawick once said, it's a communication scientist, you cannot not communicate. And so you cannot not mean anything. It's not possible. You always mean something. So yeah, back to me, next book. Here's Julia Serrano again. She's the icon of trans feminism. Not anyone else, not any Marxist person who writes about trans Marxist gender, blah, 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 and taking a bad turn from Federici. Federici, good. You just go Federici. To forget about these modern appropriations of gender to Marxism. It doesn't make any sense. And whoever you will see everywhere, anywhere, debating about this is just a pile of garbage. It doesn't make any sense. If you are a Marxist, yeah, I can debate you on Marxism. And if you think about trans rights, you you read Julia Serrano, and you only read Julia Serrano, and you read everything. And then, if you understood everything that Julia Serrano put out in the last decades, then you start talking about trans rights. Because if there's anyone who has any idea, it's her. It's her, not anyone else. None of these theory persons, not Mackenzie Walk or anyone. No one. No one. Do I have a book by Preciado? Paul B. Preciado? Do I have a book here? No, I don't have a book right here. But I will talk about transgender theory more. But I will just say it a final time. If you want to learn anything about transness and feminism and ableism and political idiocy and hating social sciences and hating natural sciences and creating a mess by being a trans exclusive radical feminist, like a normal cis woman is, like every cis woman. And I will repeat it here for all the cis women, because I meet a lot of cis women, and they are all very lovely. And I will now take this route to give you more, like give to the cis women, because they love it and they need it a lot, because they don't accept authority, but I have it. So now here comes your old daddy giving you an explanation for why you are so transphobic. Men, yeah, they are transphobic. Trans people, transphobic. What about the cis women, huh? What is wrong with them? Because it should be quite easy for them to understand sexism. Should be, because they experience it all the time. And misogyny, like they're raised in it, like they're made, like old school Simone de Beauvoir style, made woman. They are made a woman. So they should understand, shouldn't they? Maybe. But what does my empirical research say to this? Do cis women understand trans women in general? Like, did I have a lot of people I did qualitative research with, like lengthy, long-term interviews? Yeah, I did with, I would say, at least 8 to 10 women. Really took intensive time. Like, this means more than 20 hours of talk about this topic. And then there are about 50 to 80 women, all like mostly from, like, all from Germany, and all in different shades of left-wing politics, and all in different, it's not all white women, it's also POC women. I didn't have the chance to talk to a black woman about this. I did have a chance to talk to a black woman, but sadly not about trans rights, because I always love a different shades of the perspective. But my research gives away, and you don't have to, if you want to get a more aggressive take on cis women, you can watch my video. It's called "Hey You Transphobic Cis Lesbian" or something. You can find it. And then you get the real dildo swinging party, and you get a poem by Julia Serrano, which will give it in a very poetic way, which I will now say again because it's so important. Cis women cannot deal with trans women, because for them, dealing with trans women means losing their status and their privilege. And it's what's going on all the time. And I can test it very easily, because I use myself, like Paul Preciado. I use myself as an artifact, which might sound weird to people, But if you have a lot of privilege like me, you can do it. It is not nice. I would rather love to use my body, as an expression of myself. But I can also use it as a part of my research, because why shouldn't I? Because I do research, militant research. So that's most important, to find out what's going on. So I have this body. Oh, yeah. And so I have this wonderful body, which is really nice and well trained and fit, and I can do everything I want with it. I can dance, sing, play guitar, look sexy, do hottie dance, stick a dildo up my ass, very big one. I can do all this stuff. Have fun with it, and yeah, I can be very sexual. I can do like I'm good at stuff because that's what I need for my research. So I train, and I have a lot of discipline. So I train. So, but the women, back to the regular cis woman, they don't cannot deal with trans women, because they see that they lose their lifestyle, actually, and it's a lifestyle. Cis women have a lifestyle. I'm not talking about all the cis women who are actually excluded from being a woman by cis women, because this is the majority of women. The majority of women are not accepted as women by those women who call themselves cis women, because the most women who call themselves cis women have a agenda why they do it. Then there are people who don't want to say cis, like not trans at all. They don't really care, mostly. And then there are people who don't know, and blah blah blah. But if you go to the people who I research, militant or semi-organized or entrance level left-wing people, they know the terms, and when they say cis woman, they mean it as a way of expressing their privilege. So it would be like if I go to a space where there are not white women, like POC women, and they say, "Hey, we are POC women. We have a lot of problems being a POC and woman." And then I say, "Oh yeah, great. I'm a white woman." And then I say nothing, but I just look at them. And then I say, "I'm going to go on reflecting on my privilege." Yeah. And this is a power move. And then I can maybe say, "Oh, I should start dating a POC woman to understand." Or maybe I should think about decolonizing my sex life. Or I should maybe, like, I could say all these funny things that will make very clear that I will deal with the problem of racism, which is embedded in this story, in a very instrumental way for my own selfish pleasure. So I will not take time or understand or relate. No, none of that. I will take my privilege as a white woman and use it, because if I would accept that whiteness in this case is just a construct, which I do, so I can be an anti-white person. So yeah, as far as I do accept that whiteness is a construct, I'm not doing any of this shit. I will sit there and think, yeah, it's a big problem. There is a power hierarchy between us. Like if I talk in this example of POC woman and cis woman, or not, a white woman. We get back to cis women. Yeah, I just used it as an analogy because people understand racism much better than they understand transphobia. Because why shouldn't they? Because it's a lot more people involved. Trans people, really few people. Not white people is a majority. So that's a difference. So why it's very obvious why people understand racism much better, because has more power, more people fighting against it. So yeah. But back to transphobia. A cis woman, like, who is seeing herself as a cis woman, which is a very specific way of dealing with privilege, thinks that her lifestyle choices are not to be really criticized. because as a cis woman, you do time traveling. So, and I will, even though I will not talk about non-German experience. But I will talk about anyone who is actually in Germany or lives here, because then you deal with the social reality of women in Germany. And so you should, even if at the beginning you don't see it, you should, if you want to, not do the walking with a hammer through a building and killing babies by random because you think you do what you like, then you should listen up for the magic key, because it is actually important to understand that, for example, if I meet a cis woman and they, yeah, like I said, they think I'm really hot. And this is not arrogant, it's just normal party picking. It's just, yeah, I go to a party, I look hot, I do, and I dance hot, and I do. Maybe I even perform, and then people think, wow, honey, honey, honey. And yeah, it's true. And yeah, so they approach me. Mostly they do. I don't really do that. I don't even do flirting a lot. Sometimes I do, but mostly they come to me. But it goes very different. It will not go the way that it will go if the cis woman identifies her victim as a cis man, because then the cis woman can use her programming to create a situation in which she is immune to critique. This is the situation the cis woman wants, because this is what the cis woman learns from time traveling in feminism. Because in old days, it was true. Cis woman had to protect herself from kind of anything. Everybody was kind of gaslighting them, her, she, like all the cis women. Still talking about Europe, Germany. So don't make any assumptions. Still talking about Europe, Germany. So yeah, so yeah, they were having a lot of problems, and until the 80s, because the 60s revolution, despite it was kind of inspired by feminism, it was a shit show. The whole patriarchal nightmare that was called sexual liberation was a rape fantasy by men, and they raped women and children all the time. And women were very confused because it was called sexual liberation. And when they were alone and studying their own pussies, it was sexual revolution. But if they were with men, it wasn't. It was still just some rapist now saying, hey, you should like it too. And then you think, oh, yeah, it's true. I am a liberated woman, so I should fuck anyone, which I don't feel good about. So, what's the magic of sex, anyways? Maybe I will talk about that later, or with an expert, and invite them on my show, my favorite expert on sexual theory and sexology. My good friend Ross Sieber, who is the best, who knows best about sex. They know. So I also know who I can talk to and find out more about sex. But I will talk about what cis women do to me. But now I'm just a token of trans woman, because I'm just a token now. So what do they do? So first of all, they come and they want to flirt with me because they think, oh, hot. And then they come and then they see me and then they think, oh, my programming won't fucking work. I cannot make this person a victim of my cis womanness. I cannot create a situation where I'm immune to critique. And I cannot even create a system in which I can be equal to the other person as woman, identifying woman as a radical lesbian, which would also be an option because this maintains the power structure of cis women. If you have a really gold standard radical lesbian approach, you can also be. So that's what goes on in the mind of the regular cis woman. So they seem they want to fuck me, but they won't. So because their programming is glitching, so they get all these mad thoughts in their brain. So what do? They're still hot, so they still want to fuck me, but they can't. So what do? First, what a lot of cis women then do is they go away from me and start making out with some guy, like some random guy, some other guy. Just they look at me, they get really horny, but they cannot do it, so they have sex with some guy. It's just, I cannot. It's really funny for me, and it's really weird because it confuses everyone, but it doesn't matter because there is this magic idea in the air that sex is always good, and if you get it, you are great and you achieved something. Ooh, you oh yeah, I made out with 5 people today on the schoolyard. Yeah, lovely children. It's very nice. And I didn't enjoy my puberty when I was 16, and you seem you didn't, so why are you still living it? I don't know. But you are. Like, this is why I'm talking to this not growing up people. I'm talking about to adolescent and childish and grown up childish women who have no emotional capacities for understanding themselves, their privilege, or the situation they deal with. And do I have the right to judge about cis women? Am I a cis woman? No. But I'm a woman. So I'm judging cis woman from the perspective of woman. So I'm not really talking about being a cis person because I'm not. I will not say anything how it feels, how you grow up, the misogyny, rape, all the bad stuff like date rape, rape culture, evil boyfriends, gaslighting, psychotricks, all these strategies of making you insecure and fighting, blah blah blah. It's really bad. It's really bad because yeah, even if I now said that cis women make cis men the victim of their programming, does it really make a difference to me? Is it important? Is it even an important fact? Not really, because the cis men they don't suffer. So if I say that, I say it in a very structural sense because it's actually weird that I said it, and maybe I will repent and say no, I didn't say that. I did not. I did not say that cis women make cis men the victim of their scheming because they make me and other trans women the victim of their scheming. So fuck the cis men. Yeah, let's get rid of them in this conversation. So we're back to cis women and trans women trying to make out. Hmm. Does it work? No, it doesn't. Is there a way of tricking this? Or maybe, yeah. If you are, you can put yourself in a dissociative state, take a lot of drugs, or be really crazy. So yeah, I could have sex with a cis woman if they lost their mind. Then they will have sex with me. Like if they completely lost, like they really don't know who they are anymore. They wake up from 8 hours of dissociation, don't remember who they are, don't remember their name, and they just see me and go like, "Oh, I always felt like everything inside me likes you so much. And now that I don't have a brain right now, I can finally follow what I feel. And then it's going to be good and everything's going to be fine." But very soon the thinking will start again and you will take a different approach on tokenizing me in this case, as an example of trans woman. So in my case, you can make me an artist or a weird person, or you can make me a semi-man or a non-binary person, or you can say she's not a transsexual woman, so she's not a trans woman, or you can say she's a white woman, so she's a colonialist, or I don't know. You can find any kind of way to make it real for you, or you can just say I feel victimized by the trans woman because I wanted to fuck her, and then I was gaslighting her, and then I didn't feel good with myself, so I blame her. That's a very very good option that I really suggest to people because that's really what they do. So yeah, they will always come back on taking the blame on the trans woman for their self-hate and self-loathing because they cannot won't really fight the men and the violence and take down the system of patriarchy. No, they won't because they profit from it. And so, yeah, so it's always back to me, the hot trans woman, performing as a male artifact for everyone to see. And I maybe do sex shows in future to have more fun, public sex displays maybe, with other trans women maybe. We can do some fucking parties publicly. That would be great. Mm. But will it change the cis women? No. And again, I want to finish before I go back to my books, to my shout out to cis women who cannot deal with me. Um, and I mostly, what I really love the most, there are some like cis women, because this is really specific. I love that most. It's really about really like focusing on me, because I don't have this. Nobody likes it, but I will use the word is passing as a woman. I don't at all. It's a very bad concept, hateful, and I don't like it. And it's bad for cis women too, but whatever. But so yeah, they will just start, if they start flirting or having a crush on me, they will just not make a difference, and they will not decide if I'm a man or a woman, because if you just have a crush, you don't need to really decide. But once you get close to me, you have to decide. You feel it. There's something wrong, because the categories don't match. And I will now cut this short. And in the end, you will try to become a lesbian to find out if you, because you maybe enjoyed me, but you can, again, in the first example, you will go to some random cis man and make out and fuck him because you like me. And in the second case, you will, if you like me even more, you will find a woman, a real woman, a cis woman to have sex with instead of me. So good luck, people. So yeah, um, back to my book show, and then I will wrap this up. This is Glitch Feminism by Legacy Russell. Would I debate her? That's really interesting. Mm, he was already dead, but should be debated. It's just social academia. Here is Julia Serrano, which has her own throne. But I will put Legacy Russell to Julia Serrano, because I think they both take a path where they don't fully engage in just revolutionary critique, but they still, both of them, know how to move in this world. And this book has a lot of revolutionary thoughts. And this is her new book, Black Meme, which is a really, I didn't read it fully yet, but this is a really good. Here we got a very controversial book by Elizabeth Duval. It's called After Trans, Sex, Gender, and the Left. And this is a reactionary conservative take on trans rights by a trans woman. And I loved reading it because the conservatives love this book. It's not have been sold a lot, it's not popular in the way, but that's what I said in the beginning. It's not about reaching 50,000 people who don't give a damn. If you reach one person who understands, they will fucking spread the word and spread the word and spread the word. Because if the argument is consistent, not like Hegel, the idea is traveling by itself. No, if the argument is consistent, it has a magic of its own. And so if I use an argument and I get someone to follow it and to accept me as teaching an argument, then they will repeat it. And they will talk to other people and say the same thing, exactly the same. They will just repeat my words, which is not bad, but good. This is what teaching is about. So you integrate what I tell you, and then you start building your own reality around what is true. Makes sense. What is Elisabeth Duval doing? Will I debate her? Not at all. Will I put her on the John Baudrillard mountain? Yes. Was a good book to read. Here is Rosie Braidotti. And now we come to the mountain of academia, and she is on top of the mountain. This is Rosie Braidotti. She is the queen of academia. So I bow to Rosie. Rosie, you are the best. If I would ever accept anyone as giving me a free title as a professor, it should be you. I think I would love it from you, because I think Rosie, she's so smart. Wow, it makes me cry again. It's wow. This is cutting edge. This is really like, wow, it makes me cry again, because I'm so moved by people who are really smart, because it really moves me. It touches my heart, because understanding things is an emotional process also. and it's amazing. I cannot even open this book. This book is so dense and so well composed and so intelligent. I have other books here, and yeah, they are all intelligent. But this, there's no way of making. Wouldn't even make an argument. I would actually say that Rosie Braidotti is smarter than me. She is. I think what she knows and accomplished to put in this kind of little book, which is also not sold well or nice outside of academia, even there's not a lot of people receiving it. And if you read post-human feminism and you live in this walking around in a dark space killing babies life of colonial asshole style, being a pseudo-revolutionary dickhead, you will not even open the book, because if you read post-human, you think of whatever, because you don't know. But this book is so good. But I think it cannot really be read, even if you would meet with people in a circle and read it. It won't make any sense. This book is so complicated and highly intellectual. It has some nice ways of telling stories about other theorists, but this follows a much, 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 much more complicated and so intense way of thinking that I would just quote her resume from the smartest person alive. I would say, I know writing in a language I can understand and that is available to me, which is very limited. She writes that we are in this together. And that's what the smartest person I know, she's a white woman. Does it make a difference that she's the smartest person? No, it doesn't. Will I debate her? No. I could admire her and I could thank her, bow to her and say, wow, Rosie, I cannot. You're just the best. So I will put her into the mountain of Julia Serrano and Legacy Russell because, yeah, she belongs there. I put that away. I show some Wittgenstein because, yeah, he's a serious guy. He's dead. Will I debate him? No. So he goes to Camus and Audre Lorde. And so, yeah, we already had this. We already had this. So I think we're done with my book show. So maybe you learned something about the stuff I talked about. And if you want to pay me, I can give you a very specific lecture on any of these topics. And if you don't want to pay me, I will give you unspecific lectures about many topics in a very random order, mixed up with comedy and weird sounds and nonsensical breaks and smoking cigarettes and doing some polemic takes and funny stuff in between. So that's the way I like it, because I am a Black Cross anarchist. So, or Christian or Jewish guy or whatever you want to call me. That's a lot of topics. So be blessed, be loved, enjoy your body, and yeah, don't reflect your privileges. Don't accept that you got them, and then take them as a resource for others to help and support in solidarity. Bye.